Hello and welcome to the Retro Robin Show with me, Wayne, and of course Emo there, my AI who likes to dance to AY Robot. Well, I know it's been quite a while since my last show, but I've been doing quite a lot. Don't forget I had to help organise and run and put loads of computers up and running ready for the Zap Live event, which went down a storm in Kenilworth. Fantastic event, enjoyed it, everybody had a thoroughly good time, and we changed things around a little bit and it seemed to work quite well. But that wasn't the only event that I did. I also did Redcon in London. They used to be at the Greenfield Social Club, but now it's sort of expanded into a different club, and there was some pluses and then there was some minuses. There was lots of familiar faces and one or two new faces I saw at that event, but everybody were there, had a thoroughly great time, and my hat's off, well, my hat stays on in this case, to everybody who helped organise and run that event. I actually won the star prize. Yes, I know. How lucky am I? I've got myself a white Spectrum Next. And talking of Spectrum Next, yes, there was a big announcement at that last Redcon event. KS3 was announced to be on the 19th of July, so if you miss KS1 and KS2, which is the continuation of the legacy of the Sinclair Spectrum, there's a chance now that you can get involved. Or if you're just a collector and want to get the trilogy of the next releases, this is your chance. All of that will kick on the 19th, and there's some significant developments and some improvements to that board. Apparently we're going to get ourselves the Commodore core, which means we can play the back catalogue of Commodore games on a Sinclair machine, and possibly one or two of the new homebrew games to the Commodore, which will be great to look into, and I'll be looking forward to doing that as well. You can already get the QL core, and there'll be plenty more software released for that system, so if you want to be able to get yourself a nostalgia product for today that will run as well and run all of those stuff, get yourself involved in KS3. Now, of course, my concentration solely goes on to the Crash Live event in Kenilworth, so I've got to concentrate on that. Let's have a look at this Crash cover then. Very venomous looking cover, don't you think? I've decided to expand the cover. The cover is on the left hand side, and the inside page is on the right, so as you can see it's divided in the middle. Yes, we've got the advertisement there for COBRA, the game, not based on the film, but based on the film, but not based on the film, if you know what I mean. Nothing like the film, but there you have Sly Stallone with his laser sighted machine gun, or whatever gun it is. I'm an expert on guns, but it's the cover we're looking at, and that is quite dark, and believe me, those are quite venomous teeth. A very nice looking cover. On the cover also is The Great Escape. That's a game that we'll be coming to in a moment, so hopefully as we flick through a couple of these pages we should come across that particular game. Let's move on to the next two pages. And there you have the listing along with the COBRA, which is the inside page of the cover itself. Interesting style of magazine, this one. It did a couple of changes. I do like the fact you've actually got Spectrum screenshots on the COBRA game. Boy, is that a good game. £7.95 or £8.95. Yeah, it was good value for money. £8.95 for Amstrad and £7.95 for Commodore. For the Spectrum, which is Amstrad and Commodore, sorry, had to pay more for that game, and it's effectively the best game is the Spectrum version in my books, but you know, that's a matter of opinion for sure. Great advert there, I love that. You know, the little soft leaderboard. I haven't played that for ages. It used to take ages sort of rendering the course, didn't it? But what a great game that was for the Spectrum. Really enjoyed that back in the day. I can remember the other two games I wasn't too keen on, but they was okay, I suppose. There you go. The green version of the cover underneath there, and I was not into that sort of game. Oh, we've messed up here somewhere. Oh, there we go. Computer's got a lag on it. Gremlin Graphics, Trailblazer, Future Knight, Avenger, and I wasn't really keen on the football game, but all the other three, they were pretty good. Moving along. we come to today's first Crash Smash, which is The Great Escape. And oh boy, was this a fantastic game. But foreshadowing, we're going to give it a play and see if it stands the test of time. Do we consider this a Crash Smash to this day? Well, spoiler alert, possibly. Ocean or Denton design, £7.95, not a bad price for a great game. Use of computer was 95%, graphics 96%, playability 96%, getting started 95%. I felt that could be really a lot higher. It's really easy to get into this game. Addictive quality is 96%, I totally agree with that. Value for money, 94%. I mean, this game, to me, I think it's one of those complete games. You know, it's got everything in it. It certainly gives you a feel that you're actually playing a part in a movie. And it's got that, you know, the Great Escape, which is based on the World War II true story, roughly, and the actual book called The Great Escape, and a film called The Great Escape. This has got all those elements in it. I think there was another film actually called Escape to Victory, which had a lot of footballers in. That was a good one as well. SIZZLER was in that, was he, as the goalkeeper, if I remember rightly? Indeed he was. Overall rating then, 96%. Well, let's have a look at the way this game loads and have a look at the loading screen. It's always nice to see which sort of speed lock loader this is, and there wasn't a lot to that loading screen. This is just this plain normal load, but I think there was a different type of loading depending on when it was released. Whether the re-release had a different speed of loading. I remember the speed lock loader being more like what can I say that's similar to it in a speed lock loader, which is hyperload. I would say Bruce Lee. I'm sure it had a Bruce Lee speed lock loader. This is the Denton Divine version re-release, I believe. This could be the original from 1986. Not a lot going on with the loading screen really, just a barbed wire and the name of the game, and of course the two people involved in bringing you this creation. So you'd have to wait quite a while, because this was quite a long time to take. It took to load before you actually got into the game, but as soon as you did get into the game, well, you were presented with this. Yes, the flag, well, that slowly rises, very patriotic tune, giving you, I think the flag represents your morale. Your usual controls are there. You can select between keyboard, Kempson, Sinclair and a Protec. Use break all caps and space for a new game. Means you can quit anytime if you like. I think the actual bleeper music for this game makes the game as well. There's no actual AY music in the game, but you don't want AY music in this game because it would ruin the mood of it. So in this occasion, we're not going to put an AY tune in, we're just going to play the game. And we repeat the same. I'm going to go for Kempston. And then we just press start, space for new game. Or is it enter? Select. Okay, we start the day, you get a roll call, time to wake up, you automatically, the computer takes over. Whatever you do, it will do it automatically, so you don't have to do anything to start with. And then, of course, what you need to do is you need to slip away from the guards, break into various rooms, find keys, get yourself a pass, get yourself some wire cutters, and then store them, when you can, in your tunnels. You will probably have to do a lot of tight roll calls in a minute. You'll get a roll call. As soon as I press the joystick, it will change over, and now I am in control of the guy. There we go, look. And if I wanted to, the guards are following me closely, so try not to yeah, we can get in. Now, if you notice the flag has turned red, you don't want to get caught in there because you're actually doing something wrong while in this camp. And the best way to find roll call is just to go towards them, let the computer take over, and it will place you ready, and you'll get roll call, roll camp, roll call. and it will take over for you. And you very often have to do that, and it'll say roll call end over, and then it'll say lunchtime, etc., and you'll get a Red Cross parcel every now and then. You need to go to the Red Cross parcel, collect that, and hopefully there'll be something hidden in there that is quite nice. This got a whopping 96%, and it's a fantastic game. It's no doubt that I wouldn't change it for the world. To me, it's a 10 out of 10. You don't get better than this. You don't get games made like this anymore. But yeah, it was a full package. It had that movie feel. And now, if you notice, you're going to lunch, the flag is green, and the computer will take over the animation. So you can actually leave this game alone, and it will play itself for you. And hopefully, you won't get in too much trouble, and you won't get the flag come down and put into detention, shall we say. Yeah, 100%. I wouldn't change this for the world. The Great Escape, a crash smash today and forever will be. Fantastic game. If you've not played this, trust me, give yourself time to get into it. You'll enjoy it immensely. It's a fantastic game. Check this out. URIDIUM Houston would have cost you £8.95. Use a computer 89, graphics 89, playability 90, getting started 89, addictive qualities 90, value for money 88 at £8.95. I felt it was value for money. Overall rating then an absolute whopping 90%. Quick quiz question for you. Can you tell me which game I've taken this beeper music from? A little hint. It's Richard Hines has put this to beeper music comes across quite loud, but I love this particular beeper music. If you haven't guessed already, it was one I also put on a crash cover tape not so long back. It's one of the crash cover tapes that I've done. I will be trying to do another one hopefully in time for Christmas, but details on that are a little bit sketchy as yet because I haven't got the various permissions I need. As soon as I get the permissions, you'll be the first to know, because I'm the man who's the cover tape editor. So I'm the man with the plan, and I'll bring you hopefully a Christmas crash cover tape again, but trying to better each one each year is good. So URIDIUM, there you have the ratings in full and everything you need to see. We need to have a look at the way this game loads, because this has got a particularly good loading sequence. And all I've got to do now is basically turn off the display capture and then put on the next, which is coming up right now. I do rehearse the show sometimes. Want to have a look at the loading screen? We've got the loading noise coming. We've got all sorts of noise going on here. It's loud, it's power, it's coming to you. URIDIUM. I think this is the one with the double dots in the corner. Yes, those dots are two coloured dots, and the way it works is they get gradually lighter as they go through. Rather than a countdown, it gives you something different. The borders are blacked out, as you can see. It's going through the 7 colours of the spectrum. When it gets to white, then the red will change to the next colour up. And hopefully by the time it gets to white, we'll have a loading screen to have a look at and take a good butchers. See what we think of this loading screen. Obviously it's going to be better than the Great Escape, because that wasn't really a lot other than text and a bit of barbed wire. But yeah, it's a classic loading screen. It's a classic way of loading. And when the game is loaded, it also has a demo which introduces you to the game. And once again, this game needs no introduction. I think we can get on and play it and see if it stands the test of time. Did it deserve that 90% rating? I think we all know the answer to that one. All we got to do now is get it loaded. As soon as the game's loaded, you get the opening sequence. I love the rotating colours that you use, but unfortunately you can't do that and this beeper music at the same time. More beeper music. Oh, fantastic. That's iconic in itself. I forgot how to choose the keys. 2-player, if you press 2 you get 2-player. I'm not so sure if it's 4, 5, 4, player 1 per pair. Yeah, it automatically goes into Chemistry. Right, what really blew me away about this game when I first played it is this little, you know, it reminded me of the Millennium Falcon on one of these scenes where it sort of does a flip over and swing round, and I think that's possibly what it could have been based on. And I've got destroyed there. You destroy everything on the ship and then you move on to the next level. It's how fast and how smooth this scrolling was. That was just immense. And hopefully now we should destroy all the ships. We've got to be careful here because you can easily hit the wall. And I remember rightly, once we get all the ships detonated, oh, I don't know how I'll survive that. It will move on to the next level. But it's just brilliant. I think that is it, maybe. Are we missing a few? You know, the ships can actually pass through you without actually harming you. But yeah, you know, anything solid objects will destroy you. URIDIUM, absolute 100%. I wouldn't argue with that for the world. That is a fantastic crash smash. Look how smooth and great graphically pleasing. I love the effect of the shadow against the base that you've got there. I've just got a text message. Oh, I'm popular today. Do you agree? Is this one that you've played back in the day? Well, it's one I'll go and play today because it's just a good fun play. Well, we're packing in the crash smashes today, and here's another fantastic game, FIRELORD. It's a Houston double play. 2 from Houston. First we had URIDIUM, and now we've got FIRELORD. And this would have cost you £8.95, and you've got a whole lot of game for your money. Use of computer 91%, graphics 91%, playability 91%. I'm repeating myself 3 times in a row, but then it drops down a little bit because getting started says 85%, while addictive qualities is up there with 91%. Value for money at 89%. Its overall rating then was a whopping big crash smash, 91%. We're going to take a look at the game. We're going to have a look at the loading screen first before we give it a play. And same game, by the way, down the pipes in the background, but I thought you couldn't play the one beeper music by Richard the Hitman Hollings without playing the second one. Yes, it's a cover, but boy does this look good when you listen to this out of an amplified 48K Spectrum through a set of speakers. Yeah, this is truly just an on and off going wild and making a fantastic tune. Down the pipes, great game, I like it. I'm starting to grow on me because I like my shoot-em-ups anyways, but I'm not very good at shoot-em-ups. But anyway, I digress. Let's go on to this game. Yep, it's got the same 2-bit loading screen, you know, the 2 colours going up. It's kind of like a Houston familiar speed lock loading campaign. Hopefully we get to see this loading screen and see if it's as good as the last one that Houston does. They don't exactly fill the screen full of graphics, but what they do graphically is quite pleasing. Yeah, we're just going to wait a few more minutes, that's all. Now, it seems like a lifetime when you're a youngster. Nice loading screen, very nice loading screen. I like the way that the little red pixels sort of represents the dark, and you've got the knight with a huge, ginormous sword that must weigh an absolute ton. Stephen Crow, is it? Houston? I do like that, it gets you into the game. Sometimes a loading screen can fool you into making a game look better than it is, but not in this case. This loading screen, the screen is understated compared to the actual game itself, because the actual game itself, although this music isn't appropriate for it, is quite playable. So I've got to find something a bit more appropriate, and we'll get on and we'll play this game and see if it stands the test of time, which I think it should do. Oh, this tune's so good. Hate the original though. As you can hear, it's a beeper sound to start with. I'll just get my joystick and prepare. And of course, I've decided to put a more moody from the Hairy Fly, which is a Lee Chop Stevens game. Let's have a look. Right, we can define the keys. We can use the joystick interface to joystick. Can we change that? We can use Kempson. Yeah, we just press 0 to start, can't we? Okay, we're here. need to get a weapon, don't I? I think that could be... There's a sword around here somewhere. Do you know, these sort of games always remind me a little bit of Sabrewulf with the way the maps come across. Graphically, it's fantastic, isn't it? They just seem to appear. And when they've appeared, they stay appeared. They don't, you know, once they've spawned on the screen, they're there for good. Still looking for some sort of weapon. And then I've got the great death sequence, isn't it, that? Oh, we can, we've got nothing to trade, have we? I think we should just exit. Any soup, please? Oh, get to lose my life. I just want to get out. Thank you. Oh, what's that? I need a weapon. I can't find my weapon. It's been a while since I played this game. The map's quite good. The map is kind of huge. Isn't it graphically pleasing though? You know, with the trees and the shrubbery and the fences, and even the sprites themselves, they're just so well done and so well animated. You know, there's always 3 or 4 frames of animation each one of them. And that also reminds me a little bit of Starquake, the way it dies. I don't know why, it just seems to have that vibe to it. Timing was terrible as usual. Plenty of lives, but not enough for me to complete this game. Timing once again was awful. I should tez up this and put a few cheats in. See if I can get away with one for my last life. Well, I didn't last too long, did I? It didn't last too long. Oh. Well, it is a tough game. There's no doubt about it. It takes a little bit to get used to and get into. But boy, is it well done. Graphically so pleasing. To me, it's still a crash smash. It's worth every penny. I just don't have the time to be able to get as good as it used to be on these games as I'd like to be. But I love even the fire. Look at the animation of the fire. How well done is that? The colours, the various changing colours and everything, the font that they've used, the whole thing gives you a medieval feel, right down to the loading screen at the start. To me, it's a great game and it's worth a play. I just haven't got the gaming abilities I used to have to be able to complete it. But will I go back and play it? Yeah, occasionally I'll give it a butcher's and still realise I'm rubbish. What do you think? As always, please feel free to leave your comments in the comments below. So many crash smashes in this one magazine, and this is the one that was featured on the front cover. Well, behind the front cover, but the front cover with the COBRA represented this particular game. Why? Well, it's a Joffa Smith, a legendary game, COBRA. And there we have the ratings. Would have cost you £7.95. Ocean brought you this. Use the computer 93%, graphics 91%, playability 94%, getting started 90%, addictive qualities 92%. However, with cheats and pokes, this is even more addictive because I love this game. A value for money 91%, but it got a whopping crash smash with an absolutely huge 93%. So this has got an unusual way of loading, and we're going to get to see that right now. So I've got a great speed lock loader, and I loved it when people varied the way the games loaded. It made it an entertainment in its own right. Okay, we get the name just literally come up just as Cobra. I know how to do that, you can do that as well, it's not too difficult. But then what happens is the usual screen, the board is going to get blacked out. But it's not just that, because it starts with a hyperload section to load the way the game loads. So you have to wait a little bit longer before you actually get the loading screen come up, which is quite unique and amazing. But, I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, that's quite a fast turbo load, to be fair. I forgot which speed lock now. They had it down as a speed lock loader and they numbered them, and there was ways of hacking them in order for you to get the pokes in, and there was usually massive types in just to be able to cheat on these games before the days of the multiface made it really easy. But if you couldn't afford a multiface, you always had a typing in the magazine which did it. And we'd wait for this. Yeah, and the actual colours are already there, the sprites coming up, and it just loads the screen a completely different way to normal. I think Bobby Bearing and one or two of us all had their own unique way of bringing you a picture. The loading screen, on the other hand, is exactly fantastic. I think it's really moody. The countdown timer, well, that gives you an idea on how long it is it's going to be before you've got to, got time to go and quickly make a cup of tea. Well, probably not that long, but either way. 10 out of 10 for the loading screen. I thought it was brilliant. Graphically, fantastic. A lot better than the movie, that's for sure. But then the game itself is a lot better than the movie. Joffa just threw the script out the window and made a game that he wanted to enjoy, including all of those little bits that he puts, like use your head, and what a game, what a game. I think we need to just get on and play it. And then there you go, Jonathan Smith spelt backwards as part of your. Let's put some A-boy music on. Oh, I forgot about this bit. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I forgot about this bit. This is the horrendous tune that you get at the start. I prefer the one in the background. It's not that bad, actually. Joffa did this himself. I think he did it first with Ping Pong, where it sounds like an entire orchestra. Yeah, but the title screen's just basic. But don't worry about the title screen. That's not what you're here to play. It's the game itself. The game itself's fantastic. Okay, here we go. Right, so first of all, we need to get ourselves a weapon. Use your head. Not like that. I keep missing my jumps. There we go. I've got knives. I suppose that's better than nothing. I know I've lost my knives, so the best thing to do here is just keep pressing the fire button and hope you get lucky, because I'm absolutely rubbish. It's a tough game. And that's what we want. Oh. As soon as you get hit though, you lose your weapon. Game under. We can't do that, can we? I certainly didn't. Did I actually get on the high score with that? I really can't believe that. Let's try again. Let's see if I can do a bit better this time. There then. Just a bit of rust, that's all. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. That's better. I lost my gun and I lost my life almost straight away then. Oh, how's that fair? How is that fair? Oh, that was well divided. Yes, my favourite weapon. Now we can kick some ass. That's the word we should. I see if we can get away out the way of that. Don't want to lose this weapon though, do I? Oh, I've just shot the lady I shouldn't have shot. I got carried away with blowing things away. They're the disease and I'm the cure. Oh yeah, I did see the movie. I'm sorry to say, I did watch COBRA. I didn't think that much of it. But I do think a lot of the game. How smooth was that? It's almost like it's got parallax scrolling. You know, it's got nothing to do with the movie. Even the ending scene's quite good. Game under! I ain't gonna put my name in. I really enjoyed that, can you tell? COBRA! 100% crash smash, fantastic game. Quality graphics in that. Right down to the beeper opening tune, and that's this is before there was AY put into games which could actually play while the game was running a little bit better than beeper would, because beeper music could slow down the game a little bit, as everyone kind of knows that in the Spectrum community. However, this was a fantastic play, and what a game. Completely nothing to do with the movie, but it had the touch of Joffa, who was an absolute genius with this sort of thing. That parallax scrolling, well, that set the stage for games to come, and he certainly was, shall we say, a pioneer when it comes to coding on the Sinclair Spectrum, and this is right up there with one of the best games ever produced, arguably, for the Spectrum. Do you agree? As always, please feel free to leave your comments in the comments below. So we've gotten to the penultimate one. Yes, we've packed 6 crash smashes in this one particular crash, which was December and would have cost you £1. So there's a lot of games packed into this particular game. Is DRUID. Or I called it DRUID for some unknown reason. DRUID would have cost you £7.95 by Firebird. The use of computer was 87%, graphics was 91%, playability was 90%, getting started 88%, addictive quality is 90%, value for money was 88%, but its overall rating, and the most important rating, the one that we're going to take a look at to see if it stands the test of time, was 90%. And there is a terrible loading sequence to this game. Yes, I'm about to ruin things for you as I show you this. Beep loader! Why, Firebird, did you ever invent such a slow loader? There is the added advantage that beep loader, if any particular sections failed, you just rewind the tape a bit and wait it, and you could probably get past that section that failed because it might load the second time. That was the only added advantage, but it took forever to load. In fact, it took so long to get a beep loader to load that by the time I finished this entire conversation, I'd have run out of breath and died. No, we still haven't got the loading screen up yet. Loading screen, and that's what we want to look at, really. What I did back in the day, because I've got a lot of these Firebird games, they were budget games, they were always around about 2-3 quid, so they were really quite affordable, so you didn't really need to pirate something that cheap. But I did have a multi-face, and when I loaded the game, used the multi-face and did a copy of it so it loaded at a faster rate, especially with the multi-face 1 to 8, it had a speed lock loader basically that loaded a lot faster, and as long as you had the original multi-face you could do a snapshot and load this game in half the time because it took forever. Now the wizard there is quite well done, but the rest of it's a bit wireframe and a bit pathetic. I'm not really into that loading screen, I'm afraid. Even the wizard sort of looks like he's the druid. Is he a druid? He looks like a wizard to me. He's wearing a cross. I suppose that religion doesn't come into wizardry, does it at all? Wizards are not magicians, and magicians are certainly not wizards. There's a difference between them, there's a distinction, and if you're a nerd like me, you know the difference, and if you don't know the difference, well then you should learn it. Oh, that was brutal. Didn't mean to be. No, a bit rubbish. The wireframe Yeti or whatever it is, monster in the background looks a bit... It's just almost as if the main part of the screen was done. Let's just throw the rest in for good measure. That Stonehenge at the background, yeah, it'll be the theme of druids, I suppose. What you have to do in this game, I haven't got a clue, but I have played it before and I will give it a go now. I'm not going to allow you to go through the painful torture of waiting for this game to load, because what I can do with the magic of editing, I'll pause this editing. That's editing. Ow. With the magic of editing, we'll get to the game when it's actually loaded and have a look at it. By the way, if I've got more grey hairs by the time this game loads, it's how long it took, you know. Hurry up. So now the game's loaded, there's not much to the title screen. You press 1 to 4, in this case I'm going to press Kempston. Yeah, you've got all the information there that you need. Well, who did it? We've got a high score table on towards there at the moment. So you put your game in, you get a game rating, it tells you what's what. Skeleton, ghost, you know, oh wow. The devil, I think that's the most dangerous one, of course. I don't see very much snakes around. Let's give it a go anyways. So there isn't much sound in this game, so I'm going to leave the AY music playing in the background. There are sound effects, but you know, press space to start. I think they randomly spawn, don't they? You can go into the river, but the longer you stay in the river, the more energy you will lose. Oh, I'm losing my energy rapidly. You get stuck on the trees too easy. And they do home in on you, look, so you're best to, you know, it's another thing where you've, you feel like going, can I buy something else on that chest, or is it one trick? Yeah, it's only a one trick thing, isn't it? It's not too bad to move around. I can see there's a chest down there. That's a bit awkward, isn't it? When you're off screen, there's something just off screen that you can't get to. Yeah, we had some water. I don't know why we had water, but yeah. You can get to the bridge, cross the river via the bridge. Oh, we got another creature there. They look like, well, I don't know if they're beagles or ants. But they just keep spawning, so you don't have much. I've run out of firepower. They're going to follow me now, and now I'm in trouble. Very tough game. Personally, though, I don't think it was a crash smash. I think it was overrated. I thought maybe at best I would have given it a 7 out of 10. Because, you know, Gauntlet and Duel and all the games that had that top down, I mean, yeah, they were quite sizable sprites, I'll give you that. And there was quite well done sprites, and it sort of looked nice a little bit, but it's just a little bit too hard for me to get into. And sometimes you get stuck and you can't use your bullets, you know, you can't use your ammunition willy-nilly. You've got to try and reserve them, but they keep spawning. You know, they don't clear, the screens don't clear like where in Gauntlet, once you've killed all the bad guys, they don't spawn again. Do you know what I mean? But these just keep coming and coming and coming and coming and coming and coming. Before you know, you're in trouble. And even get stuck or trapped, you know, where they sort of crowd you in. Especially if you run out of bullets, you need to run around, get to a chest to get some ammunition, or find some ammunition in order to fire at them and kill the bad guys and kill the enemies. That way I kind of digged it down a little bit. There's a lack of sound as well. And 19, you know, in this year, surely they could have done a bit more than just, you know, the death sequences are just dull. There wasn't really anything to it. I like, yeah, okay, you got the laughing devil at the end there, that was about it, but then you're just going straight in. I thought I was being generous at 7.5 maybe. Maybe it'd have pushed 7.5 out of 10. Hope I haven't spoiled that game for you, but to me, no, it didn't stand the test of time, and I certainly won't be going back to play that. It's not unless I've got some cheat codes. last one of the Crash Smashes. That's a total of 6 in one show. What a show, packed full of retro gaming goodness, and we've still got more to come. There's a couple of Commodore games I'd like to stick in, as well as some new stuff. So yeah, this is probably going to be a long show. DRUID! They're the producers of this particular game. As you can see, it's on the screen there in front of you. And DRUID don't do anything on the cheap. This would have cost you a whopping £9.95. Basically £10. Use computer 94%, graphics 95%, playability 92%, getting started 91%, addictive qualities 94%, value for money 90%. I'm not sure about that though. It's a rather expensive game, but its overall rating was quite a high one at 93%. Well, we need to have, there's two versions of this. There's a 128k version and there's a 48k version. We are going to load the 128k version and hopefully take a look at the loading sequence, which will be coming up any minute now. Incidentally, the game and the music in the background is from a fantastic game from Midnight Brew called Ooze the Escape, and believe me, I've got this both on the Sinclair Spectrum and I've got it on the Amiga 1200, and I actually really enjoy playing this game. It's really quite good. In fact, I'm a fan of what everything Midnight Brew does recently, so I tried to, when I can afford it, get the box sets. They, as always, will be attending Crash Live this year, and you'll get to meet Alan and the team behind some of the great arcade conversions that they've brought forwards to us, from specky head, shall we say, loving computer nerds. Well, that screen is a massive dragon and 3 to 4 colours in use there, 5 actually if you count the PNR, and no colour clash as far as I can see in sight. That's a great loading screen. That is a great loading screen, there's no doubt about it. Doesn't need anything more than that, does it really? Gets you into the game. This game is a huge sprite type game, and I've played it a few times, but I really am not going to be that good at it, so I'll apologise in advance. But will it stand a 93% rating? Well, it's obviously not going to be turbo load, so once again I will save you the long wait of it loading and wait for it to load and start this recording again. But you will see it seamlessly because I'll just pause it and unpause it when it's loaded. Remember this, you get the warning when DRUID games are loaded, and if you actually looked at, it's seamless. I know I've moved the chair so as you can get Laura Croft in the picture, and I'm straightening my hat right now. Copyright. I'm shopping you if you copied this. I wonder if the reward's still up for takes. Who knows? Well, we'll press any key. And yeah, there you go. There's the £100 reward. It was a scare tactic. I don't think anybody actually ever got done, but it worked, I suppose, to a degree. Nothing worked as well as the lens lock, though, did it? I mean, the colour cards was a pointless thing. The books could be duplicated and photocopied. You only had to photocopy a few pages. And even those were coded round, so the lens lock was probably the most effective. But this was to stop people pirating their software, which took them a lot of time to produce, particularly this game. Just messing with the volume levels there, just trying to get the AY right, because this has got AY tune to it, which is great. 1986 is about time, you know, we had some sort of AY music put in there, and this was quite well done. It almost sounds like that's a beautiful use of the AY tune, it really is. It sounds so much better because it's, wish you could hear what I could hear. I can't quite get that across to your system because the mono microphone will record it in mono. Yet there's a stereo sound to this, which was early stereo, so I don't know how they've done that, but I can hear like it coming from two different angles. It's beautiful. It's almost like a synthesized sound, almost. You know, it really quite nice. Alter playing keys or play. View high score table, alter skill level. unusual font though, isn't it? Well, first of all, we want to alter the playing keys. Yes, I do. So I've now got Kempston in action, and we want to just play, don't we? Oh yeah, I remember this is a momentum game as well, isn't it? I can't remember that. Okay, so you press a button to... Forgot where'd you fire? There we go. The animation in this is really quite nice, isn't it? And I almost felt like I was going to crash into a rock then. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing, but I wished I did know what I was doing. But boy, does this look an amazing looking game. It doesn't play great, I've got to be honest, it doesn't play great. So I've got to pull backwards. Now can I walk? Oh wow. You can land and you can walk. Or you can fly. Oh, yeah, let's just kill them. I think that's the idea, you've got to kill all the humans. I've got one. And as you can see, my heart is sort of 2, 3. You're fighting for survival. This is not how to train your dragon. And the graphics of the characters that are throwing the sticks at you are really quite nice, aren't they? Ha ha ha. You can grab him in the toe. This game's so good, it's unreal. See if I can, well, I'm supposed to grab one of them and return him, I think. I need to review on how to play this game, but just from first view, I'm thinking, yeah. I've only got a couple of them to get, haven't I? I might as well get them back. Well, I just trampled over him. I think that other vase is the amount of fire you're breathing. I think this is definitely pushing the boundaries of the spectrum of what it's supposed to be capable of, but it certainly is. I mean, even the animation of the volcano and stuff, the little touches in the background make it. But even when you turn around, look at the, I mean, how many frames of animation is that? For a, you know. Is that the end of the screen? Can we walk in the water? Is it meant to be water? He continues to carry on walking, does it, when you... Oh, you can actually submerge. Let's go high. And see, the scenery does kind of continues to change, but I'm thinking, is that it? Is that as far as we go? Does the screen just loop back on ourselves? Well, there we go. We died, which is kind of amazing. Retro. Oh, got top score. I can't really downgrade that or upgrade it or say anything about it because I haven't played it often enough, but I can tell you what I think on first impressions. That's just attacked me. First impressions is really quite good, and it's not as... It's quite smooth considering the size of the character. I was expecting it to be a bit more clunky, and some of the animations in that and the graphical characters are the little men throwing spears and primitive weapons to try and take down a dragon. Yeah, it's a game that's intriguing. It's intriguing. I've had to put the cat down, he's attacking me. And I appreciate that. So for that reason, I'm not going to touch it as a crash smash. Now, a few weeks ago on Brett's podcast, I offered him a challenge, and the challenge was 3D Tank Duel. He set a high score, and I've got to beat that high score, and that's exactly what we're going to do next. So join me now as I put Brett's playing abilities to shame and destroy his high score at the game that I suggested. But I promise you this, I haven't practiced, but I know I'm going to do immeasurably better than he is. The game is a 16k game, and it was 3D Tank Duel, or 3D Tanks, or something like that. I can't remember which game it is. Anyway, join me now as we move on to see if we can beat the Brett in Bap versus Robbins, or Bap Man versus Robbins, all the same thing. Anyway, this, I'm not going to touch it, 93%, totally agree, it was really good. Right, this is the game, DK-tronic 16k game that Brett sent me a challenge on. Keys are quite awkward in this. It's a great game where I'm not sure that many people have seen this game in action and played it before. The keys are quite unusual, which is Q, W, S, T, F and Y to fire. We're going to have one player. You just simply up and grade your twitch. So move it left and right. We need to drop down a couple, I think, or up one. And we fire away, and there's my first tank destroyed, and of course. And it's there. Straight away. Missed that one, and again, yes. Good thing is when you get close to the top, disabled him, but I didn't get rid of him totally. But we're scoring points. Whoa! Incoming missile. Key to this game is to make sure that they don't get away. And if you look at the background as well, you can kind of oh, I didn't get that one. One down from the top usually. Yes, I think I've already beaten the Brett score on this occasion. haven't exactly destroyed a tank yet. This is so good for a 16K game. I mean, it really is simple but brilliantly playable. It's a little bit tricky when you haven't played it for so long to get used to it. That's probably the best damage I've actually put on the tank. Got lucky that time. Oh, thought I hit him. Right to the top, 2 down. The problem is we're not destroying the tanks, because you can leave yourself open to all sorts of attack. Have I run out of ammunition? Yeah, I've run out of ammunition. So, just gotta survive the attack now. I've got 5 ammo, that's good. Run out of ammo, so we've got to wait a while. And I'm done. 5,300. I think that has more than smashed Brett's high score. Retro Robbins on this occasion wins this round. Let's move on to something a little bit more modern. Great AY tune in the background from a platformer that is known as Nixie and the Glade Seeds, and I love the other version of this, the follow-up, shall we say, Nixie and the Seeds of Doom. Originally released on the label Bubblesoft, which then sort of metamorphosized into Midnight Brew, and I would love to see a third and final completing the trilogy of Nixie storylines, because I do like those sort of platformers, and this was right up my street. Anyway, we're not talking about that, we're talking about the latest outing by Microchips himself. Yes, SUPERHAIR in Hair Trigger. Interesting. Right, okay. So it's a continuation of the Hair saga, you know, Mr. Hair and the Fly and etc. Those are sort of games that he sort of built a kind of franchise on, if you like, now. And of course you probably know the fact he did the Retro Robbins game, which was based on me and based on this show, which was a bit overwhelming but still flattering in its own right. We're going to take a look at the loading screen, but I can tell you, if you actually buy the game from a physical copy, when it's actually out on release, you'll get all these extra goodies, which are these things here. You got a map, a poster, a Hair Trigger poster. Those at the bottom are just the inlay card with the comic strip on the reverse side of Mr. Hair himself. I think he's just taking the mickey because I've got no hair. I'll wear a hat so you don't get blinded. But yeah, the game, I mean, that map is kind of just good, but who looks at a map? Let's have a look at the loading screen. And there it is, there's a loading screen in its full glory, full of colour, and I've got the ULA Plus version loading up here because, well, I can. It's a Spectrum Next, why not? Let's play the ULA Plus, let's see the extra colours, let's have a bit of gaming action and like what the capabilities of the ULA Plus can be. But don't worry, it doesn't matter if you haven't got ULA Plus capabilities, because there is a version for the humble Sinclair Spectrum itself. 128K is better, however, it will probably work as a 48K, but just without the AY tune in it. That loading screen is just so full of action. I mean, people from the past can learn a thing or two about making every inch of the screen count and jump out to you, and that certainly does the trick there. I mean, there's just a bit of everything, including your own little microchips logo there from 2025. Already one or two people have had a play of this, but not me, so I'm going to give it a play, and it will have AY tune in it, and it will also have a few other things going on for it. So let's get it loaded and see what it's got to say. Just to admire that loading screen a bit longer. Well done, Lee. That's really quite nice. Well, there we go. Doesn't disappoint in the way of beeper music, does it? Straight in there with a loud beeper tune just to bring it out. It's sounding magnificent as well. Quite loud beeper is. It comes across the microphone very well indeed. And of course mine's an amplified system using the stereo jack output on the Spectrum Next or the Ngo. It really does add something, a bit more atmosphere to the game. Looking at that loading screen, just once again, 10 out of 10 for that. You can't argue with that. I'll try and get some links below to the game. Let's have a look at the actual AY choose for the, shall we say, title screen. No, it's not too imposing, is it? It's just building up. Usual drill, keyboard Kempston Sinclair or Y end game. I haven't even started yet. ULA Plus is engaged. Okay, so we're going to go for 2. As soon as you press 2, good luck. Well, I'm going to need it. We're straight into the game, and yeah, levers activated. So yeah, you've got to get 11 levers to activate the game, which I'm hoping will work. Some strange unknown reason, we're stuck. Why are we stuck? I have no idea. Further investigation. Is my remote dead? Yes, unbelievably, finally the charge has run out. I'll be back in a jiffy. Woo! So that was almost seamless. I've had to resort to my Mega Drive. Oh, there you go. My Mega Drive joystick. Good luck. Let's see how many of these triggers we can actually activate. Oh, right. Right, now you won't be able to go through either of these two barriers, one there or one there, until you press all the buttons, which is this one and this one, and then you will be able to go through the barrier. Shoot that, go past quickly, will automatically make you go up to the top. Straight away I didn't do too well there. This is where it becomes a real challenge. You've got plenty of barriers to shoot. Movement and control of the game is really not a problem at all. It's you know, it's not hard or difficult to navigate. What tends to be hard is the fact that there we go. Once you've activated all them, you can get through any barrier that's in the room. This looks like it's going to be a bit of a challenge. They're going to drop instantly, so yeah. Oh, I took my eye off the ball there. We can activate this one, shall we? Right. There's one down the bottom, so watch the pattern of the monsters, probably a good idea. Oh, crikey. Ah, oh, that's difficult, that is difficult. Some of these you don't exactly get to straight away, do you? Okay, well it destroyed itself. Can't go through that barrier. That means I've got to go the hard way. Okay. There we go. Wait till he's right at the top, and we've got both activated. I think, oh, hang on. There we go. That wasn't easy. There we got things to avoid, but I've done alright there. The room looks like a bit of rinse and repeat, but believe me, because I've out the room, I've got to go and do both buttons. You know when you've got both buttons pressed, because the border starts flashing, which allows you to get through. I'm looking for our first lever. Hopefully it will be in this room here. I've given it a good play. No, well, we'll follow a few rooms round. And I think this is where the map will come in handy, because you'll get to follow it round. Ah, right, what did I do wrong? Oh no, there's more buttons down here. Whoa! That's not handy, that's just too hard. By the way, all monsters will regenerate themselves. Right, all four flashing. Die! Die, squid type thing. Ah, the spikes are nasty. I didn't realise that. There's a like spike like a rhino's horn upside down on the. I haven't even found a trigger yet. Oh wow, another one of these rooms. Okay, we're good with that. We know that we can go down to do this one, shouldn't be a problem. Can be a bit confusing because you think sometimes that there is a timer to them. Perhaps I should do that one last. One more to get. Oh. Right, now we're flashing borders, we can get out, exit stage right if you like. Ah, finally we got a trigger! And there's one of the 11 pulled, and then what we got to do is find another 10. Whoa. Oh, I've got trapped. Losing my lives rapidly here. And I'm not going to be able to get it. Ah, right, okay, so every room, and you can't get through any of these barriers until you've pushed all the buttons again. So even to go back into previous rooms that you've already visited, it's not going to be a straightforward affair. It's going to be a case of getting all the buttons pressed again. Oh no! Oh, how annoying was that? So close yet so far. I shot him before he had a chance to even form. Ah! That's the last place you want to be stuck. And you can see the top corner, we got the lives 3, and then we got the score, and then we got your energy, which in my case, I've still got 3 lives left. The energy is depleting quite rapidly. This is my first play of the game, but I kind of get the gist of what to do straight away, so it's not a hard game to get into. And hopefully we're going to see a change of tone in scenery as we get further and further in the game. Which I think, as you get lower, we will get change. We'll remember to avoid those nasty spikes, you know. He puts plenty of nasties around, and then all the baddies seem to be forming up in one place. Well, I'm down to 2 lives now. Down to 2 lives now. Okay, so this one looks like it's going to be pretty straightforward. Once the border flashes, you can be able to go through the blue barriers. There's a lot of screens that seem very, very familiar. You know, because that can be. I can understand why done it makes the map bigger, but it's really kind of like a cheap escape on not actually designing more rooms, where really you want to get more rooms designed, because it can be a bit confusing where you are on the map when you get rooms that look like the same. Ah, main trigger. Okay, so there you go, main plumb. To get there, we've got to trigger the other ones, and I've got to find them all. But yeah. So, AY tuned, yeah, the AY tune's okay. I found it a little bit repetitive, but the graphics, as always, and the gameplay is spot on, 100%. It's tough, but without being impossible. It can have a little bit of an unfair factor, especially when, you know, you're bouncing out the room too easy and you're just one pixel out there, and there you go. See, I've dropped too quick. I want to do this again, and you have to drop out of the way sometimes just to get out of the way of the baddies, if you like. But there are a lot of rooms that are too similar. You can't knock Leeds graphics; they're fantastic, aren't they? But it's like this situation again. Now I've got to press all the buttons again just to get out, and I'm just thinking perhaps you could have a little bit more leniency on that side of things. But generally speaking, the game's a good one. It's just going to be a right pig to complete because of that. Every time you go out the room, you've got to reactivate those buttons to go the other way as well. It'd be nice if they stayed activated at least in some of the rooms. So you can progress through the game a little bit easier without having, because I mean even save states ain't going to help you there, are they? Because you're still going to do the same difficult, especially those ones there, levels every time. So yeah, for that I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's not one of my favourite Lead Chops games, but it certainly is a good play. But the whole package itself is really quite good. And Lee does fantastic work, and that, you know, I can only be honest, that's my true opinion of this game. Yeah, it's a great continuation of the franchise. Not my favourite Hair game. I think I like Mr. Hair and the Fly was one of my favourites, but yeah, it's cool. Here's a game you would have seen at Zap Live being demoed next to the other game that was being demoed, but this is yeah, this is a platforming game that's really up my street, and it's been a long time in development. There's the usual suspects involved in the development of this game, and testing. Chris has had plenty of goes on it, so he's obviously going to be better than me, but not for long. I want to get this game when it's finally out for release. I will get links on this video for when it is. Starting at the back, it's got a lovely feel to great AY tune, just build it up slowly but in the background to give it a good atmospheric feel. I'll press a button, yeah, okay, we've got all the usual suspects. Let's press enter. We got 5 rooms then, okay, available soon. It's pretty simple to get into this game. Right, we're here. You may have played a few of the Christmas demos. I can't go through that barrier, but there's a way where we've got to click buttons and to activate it. I can't get up there, but don't worry. There are ways and methods round. Got my first object collected. Yeah, I'm the little robot, by the way. I've neglected to mention that while I've... You don't have to collect all the objects at once. You can go back, because you'll probably revisit some of the rooms. For instance, there's a weight down at the bottom of the screen, in the middle of the bottom of the screen. We're going to need to collect that weight, because that is going to be used as a tool to lift or open a barrier further on in the game. Obviously, I won't be able to get that key just yet, but I will be able to get the blue key, which will help me progress in that game. yes, notice that it was a disappearing platform, but that platform reappeared straight away. Now, as always, when I'm actually playing this and recording, I'm not going to do as well as when I'm playing it, and I'm not actually having to concentrate on explaining what to do in the game. Some people just fly through these rooms, but I can't do that. Now, there's a lever down the bottom there. I need to pull that, so I've got to get round to that side of the room first of all, but these all have the same sort of sequence. You get plenty of time to get through them, and then of course I completely ignored. You can move quicker, you know. I could move quicker, because the more you play this game, the easier it becomes. That's it. Now, if you consider there's like a spring device there, I didn't really need to come this way this early. That's where we're going to place the weight in order to open another barrier. But there you can see there's a... Oh. This game has a nasty habit of starting you in a place that you don't want to be starting. I mean, I'm losing a silly amount of lives here. I've got 2 left, right? See, if I lose a life here now. Pull down, we'll open that up. Oh. Where have I started? There, I've started where the lever is. That's okay then. Oh, I tried to jump on there. Yes, I will try again, because that was a pathetic go, Retro Robbins. It was absolutely dreadful. This time I'm going to play it the way that most people will probably play it. Pretty quickly, no messing. We know what we're going to do. So we don't need to collect every object, but I want to get to the weight just to show you a little bit more of this game than I actually did just. So, my thoughts on the game so far. Well, if it's work in process, it's good work in process, because this is really quite addictive and quite enjoyable, I must admit, and I'm not being biased here. This is the sort of game I like anyways, the sort of platformer games that are fun and that are colourfully and graphically pleasing. There we go. I can't get to the yellow key yet, so there's no point trying to go that way. But as you can see, I'm already doing a lot better. Oh, wow. I knew I could get there, I just didn't wait for the lift to go high enough. I'm doing better this time round, but there's a bit more concentration involved, can you tell? Now we can get to the weight. Just be a little bit anxious because I've got the blue key. You saw me collect earlier. I'm able to get through that door. He does stop there. These are pretty easy to jump over. You don't need pixel perfect time, unfortunately. It is a little bit forgiving. I'm liking all the ornaments in the background, like the cross swords, the shield. The sprites are quite well defined. I do think his boots, his red boots, are huge. Now, you can see there's a brick in the middle of that room which will prevent you from travelling any further. However, not to worry, you've got the weight, and as you can see, where there's a rotating crash badge, I'd just like to leave a little bit of a ladder. Try not to make any silly mistakes now. Yes, okay. Crash collected. See, if you just let yourself flow and not worry about trying too hard, you know, like I was doing, you can see the barrier's now cleared, and that will mean I can progress further into this game. And there was a lot of objects in the earlier rooms that you'll go back to, so don't worry about trying to collect them all at once. And there you go. I I've started in the worst place possible because I died rather needlessly down at that bottom of the screen. Oh, I tried to jump that. Frustration is starting to get to me now. I have to say that the AY tune is varied enough not to be repetitive, because it has like a silent period where it calms itself down. There we go. We've got a green key, we can collect that to open the green door, and then we've got a red key we need to collect to open the red door, and then I bet you to get through any other doors will be quite an achievement. And yeah, you can see where the spikes are going to come up, but I can see where the spikes should have come up, and I didn't pay much attention to that. And this game certainly does punish you for not looking before you leap. You can either jump over them, or you can wait for them to naturally disappear. Whoops, that was nearly a bad idea. I should blame my joystick really. Prefer my wireless one. Ooh. Ah, right, okay. Where am I? Back down at the bottom. That was a fine line that I made a mistake there when I didn't quite position myself in between those two sprites, nasties if you like. Can I get a shortcut up there now? Got to go to the low chain first, have I? There you go, that's what I'm talking about with the sound. Ah! Right, final conclusion. I actually think it's going to be a really good game, one that I'd love to own for my next collection. Certainly would like to get the box version of that. Yeah, it's a platformer. It is what it says on the tin. It's a crash game. It's fantastically addictive. It's very playable, but it's also in its own right one that if you're good at, you will speed through. It's probably better on keyboard than it is on a gamepad. A bit more responsive for me, but I can't really do that when I'm filming. I'll have to use a gamepad. I'm going to give that an 8.5 out of 10. Bordering on being a 9, quite not there yet. It's hard to judge a game on its demo until you've really gone into it. But yeah, I think it's a good game, and I'm really enjoying playing it. So yeah, really enjoyed it. It's a good platformer, you know. What would I change? There's not a lot you can change. It's graphically really good, really playable. I'd like an option where you start not where, but you know, if you die and you've gone so far on the screen, you're back down there, or if you get to that side, you pull the lever and then you die down there, you go back up there. It seems to do that a lot. I'd like to just alter that slightly, but generally speaking, that's worth a purchase, and I highly recommend you get that for your next one. It is truly available. It's time for a Commodore dual playing, and as always I'm using original hardware. No emulation or simulation here. I like to play these actual games using original hardware, with one exception. This has got the Kung Fu Flash 2 in it, which will enable this next game, which kind of blew me away, to run. And also I will be using the 1541 very slow disk drive towards the end of the show, so you may have to bear with me. Why am I using the Kung Fu Flash 2? Well, it can run games like this on the original hardware coming up right now. Highly recommend you get a Kung Fu Flash 2, they're really quite capable. Fast cartridge, yeah, game, of course. Why? Because of this. This is going to shock you. But yes, And I think we all know what's going on here, don't we? This is the Master System, or the Game Gear version, the 8-bit version, because both of those systems were 8-bit, not 16-bit like the Mega Drive, of Sonic the Hedgehog, the original game, which is now loading via the Kung Fu Flash 2, which can be used in any stock Commodore anywhere. Now, in recording this section, unfortunately for me, one of my SID chips gave up the ghost. It died, it passed away, and now is a shame. And then just recording the next section, and I'm using an aftermarket power supply, a more up-to-date and modern one, and not the original Commodore supply, so I can rule that out. Another Commodore decided to go absent without leave, shall we say, and pack up the black screen. However, we're not going to go for immortality here. Sega 1991, it does have a demo that we'll play, but we're going to get straight into the game by pressing the fire button. And this is very familiar to everybody who's ever had the Master System. It's the same game, ported almost perfectly to the Commodore. We're going to go up to the first boss. The sound is great. I'm using the original SID sound, that is, that's emulating the... well, emulating, shall we say, the sound that you would have got from the original Master System. Probably not quite the same, more Commodore version is close enough though, isn't it? I mean, the graphics are quite smooth, the scrolling is quite smooth, the graphics are quite nice. Got that the wrong way round. And the good thing about this sort of game is you can play it at your own pace, so you can just whip through it. I like to collect a few extra lives. I mean, this is the... I only got one. Try again. I got one at the top. I'm trying to get 99. If you get 99 of the... there's a bit of a lag with that tune change, but yeah, it's got all the elements there. I almost run through the hill itself then. Oh, there's a way to get them. I want to get into the meat of them before I continue. You know, get the majority of the rings out of the way. Oh, I'll give up. Right, we don't want to play a long play, so... good job I didn't lose my rings there. Oh, there's an extra life here, just hidden in the tree, just like on the original game. And the way to get that is you bounce up. There we go. Now we got 4 lives. And I'm getting carried away because I'm really getting into this. This is really quite enjoyable and very addictive indeed, just like the original Sonic the game, but on a stock Commodore 64 using the Kung Fu Flash 2. I kind of find this remarkable, it's actually doing this, you know, but it is, and the graphics are right on. It'll be interesting if we can get to the bonus level, which I have completed this game a number of times. I got my extra life there, as you heard that. If you get 99, and you get more than promise, your bonus won't be as good. And sometimes it's better to get a bonus than it is all the lives that you require. Yeah, he's laughing at me simply because I didn't collect very many rings. Well, actually I collected over 100, but you only get 5 because you've clocked it back to 0. Part 2 of the Green Hill. This is the bit where there's a couple of hidden sections in there I can show you. I always go backwards before I go forwards because you never know what's at the start of the game. Top down, boom. I think there's a water, that bubble will protect you to a degree. You will notice on my Commodore I'm getting a little bit of gel bar. I had to get the crab. Here, just like in the original Game Gear, there's a hidden chamber with the extra life. I've lost the bubble, which is like an extra bit of protection, but that's not a problem. Yeah, once again I'll start from this particular section here. And these flies are annoying, aren't they? So and in this game there are gems that you need to collect. You cannot complete the game properly unless you collect all the gems, which are usually in a hidden passage, and there are different places where they're just dotted around the map. Some of them are a lot easier to find than others, but once you know, you know. Once you've learned where they are, and there's plenty of YouTube videos on showing you where those are on this game. Well, how does this game compare to the Game Gear and the Mega Drive version? Well, there's a slight difference, not much though. I mean, it's not like it's a bad version at all. In fact, they've done a really good job of converting this to the Commodore, and I find it quite playable. The graphics are fantastic, and it amazes me that even with your without this supposed, remember the Master System, was it? No, the Mega Drive, wasn't it? It had blast processing, which was just a made up thing, to be quite honest. We'll see if we get the bonus level after this, and then we'll try and flip to the boss fight. Oh, did you see? Yeah, look at that. There was a glitch there, wasn't there? That's interesting. As I say, it's not perfect, it's not without its glitches. I can't get the 100 on here, but I can get the bonus level. Continue on the bonus level is not quite easy to get. You've got to just watch, there's different types of springs. But let's see how the tune compares to the original game. Bit slow, but when we get there, yeah. I want to avoid the big bounces, you know, because the big bounces take you away from what you want to be doing. Remember, you've got to time limit in order to get everyone you can. I want to get back because I nearly missed to continue there. I think this is the bounce I want. That's the one I want, yeah. Whoa, don't glitch now. That's it. Yeah, it's glitching a little bit, isn't it? To be expected though, you shouldn't be doing that. I've got extra life somewhere. I don't know how I got an extra life, but I did, but I'm not going to argue with it. This might be just a one-off loading situation where it may not have quite got the code right off the Kung Fu Flash. I don't know, because it hasn't done this very often. It does it every now and then where it glitches a little bit, but it doesn't stop you from playing the game, and it's still incredibly playable. Well, we'll do the boss fight and then we'll call it a day on this particular game. We've showed enough of it. I always run back. With every boss fight you get on Sonic the Hedgehog, especially including on the Commodore, just like the original, you will find a hidden extra life. You just need to know where to look. On the Game Gear version, you'll be able to get the boss fight over before he's even had a chance to charge you, because the Game Gear version slightly messed up the boss fight, didn't they? You could actually hit him while he was going along. But on this version, you have to wait till he starts coming down. So you might as well stand in place and wait for him to come back to you, because he always comes down in the same place. The routine has not changed. Oh, and it's actually glitched. Wow, this is the first time this has happened. This is the first time this has happened. It's never happened before, but let's see if we can rectify it. We're back, glitch free. Second time I loaded up, I've had no problems. So maybe it was just a one-off type of glitch. Everything seems to be okay now though. And as I was saying, in the actual Game Gear version, you could actually destroy him before he even got across the screen. The momentum's spot on. You know, it's exactly what it should be. There we go, 2 hits. It usually takes about 8 hits to destroy the... Oh. Well, that's unusual. It's glitched again. What's going on here? He's gone. We defeated him early. Twice. It's glitched on me. Well, I don't know what we're going to do about this, but it's maybe it's a Commodore problem. I'll try it in a different Commodore, but not on this video. I'm going to keep it as real as it is. This is a great version. I'm going to give it a 8 out of 10 because it glitched on me twice. Yeah, I know you're tapping your foot, but what can I say? Things go wrong, and this is what can happen on real hardware on the Retro Robbins show. The Zap Live event, I managed to pick up an actual disc that I could load on the Commodore, and a game that I'm showing you that once again I'm using original format. I'm going to load this game in here, which I think is a fantastic presentation. That's it. Once that's in, and we'll click onto the screen. I can show you what I'm doing, and we can put myself back into the picture, hopefully. Here I am. Hi. And we can get rid of that picture and have a look at the actual game. Load speech, asterisk speech, comma 8, comma 1. We'll start the disk drive off and searching. And of course it's quite quiet actually. That disk drive, I've done a good job of serving it, it's quite quiet. But anyway, now we should get the game up, and all we gotta do is type run, and then we can play this new game that I purchased from that event. And this was the first time I've ever loaded anything from a Commodore disk drive, because I never had a 1541 back in the day, but recently I've got one, and boy is it slow. I'm sure some 16K games for the Spectrum load quicker. I heard about it being slow, but I didn't expect it to be this slow. But the main thing is it works, and we should be there now. Yes, so I've just type run, and there we go. There's the game. We're going to start the game. Should be just a simple case of pressing fire button, I believe, or enter. I've unplugged the joystick. I need to plug the joystick back in. Well, you didn't see it. I did it off camera, but yeah. Yeah, so then all of a sudden it starts loading again. I like the way it messes the screen up. It's a bit worrying though, because you think, oh no, it's crashed. But no, it's quite normal behaviour. I didn't know that at the time. I thought, oh no, the disk drive needs servicing again. I've done something wrong. I've misaligned it. You know, all the usual. The paranoia seemed to hit home quite hard. But then it carried on. And after a long period and a long wait, the disk drive, the super slow 1541, managed to, well, bring me a new game for me to play on the Commodore. And the first time I've ever loaded it on a disc. And I'm repeating myself because this is taking so long. I'm running out of things to say, and that's kind of hard to do. Yeah, I do love the coloured border effect. Anyway, I digress. 25,000 years later, I can hear it doing stuff. I can hear it just making subtle sounds. You probably can't hear that, but I can. How long? Perhaps I should time lapse the loading. But you're getting it real time. You know, I'm thinking I'm going to bang this straight on the Kung Fu Flash. I'd rather have the actual file and get it loaded fairly instantly. Oh boy, come on. And it's at this stage you think, has it failed? But then, no, something else has changed and it's still loading. I hope it's loading. I hope it's loading. It's loaded! Wow! I can't tell you how worrying that is. SIZZLER! And listen to that. I I was going to listen to that, but then I pressed the button. Okay. Oh, I died. I love the animation of the walk. How good is that? Oh, that must be a fan. Yeah, we can get up there. And that must be a fan to get up there. We've got to click those things at the top, haven't we? Yeah. So that's a trampoline. Okay, yeah. They look spiky at the top. Oh no, I couldn't avoid it, could I? Oh, that's a monster. So I can see there's a lot of little things you've got to collect over there. I don't know how I'm going to get to that. That's going to be a spring, but we can avoid that for now. I don't know if I'm doing any good or not. I can't see where my energy's going down. I've got 2 hearts. Can we get through there? No, that barrier's blocked, so there's a key at the top I can see we've got to collect. It looks like a monster over the right hand side there. If not a very pink or purplish type one. Okay, well I think this just forced my hand a little bit. That's very Zool, like the way he hangs off the edge. The animation is brilliant. Oh, yes, I collected something. It's always a good sign. I know, oh, didn't realise it was going to drop, did I? Have a word. Collected that, that's good. Oh, good. Did I get a heart back then? I feel like I'm back at the start of the screen, whether I am. I may well be, yeah, I'm back where I started. So we're making some sort of progress, if nothing else. Do we need to go back to the very start? Oh no, get out of here quick. Ah! That's annoying. How do I get over there? Yeah, that reminds me of very like Zool. Love the 3-legged walk. How good is that? Oh, I think I've just died. SIZZLER! Great ending tune. Love that subtle ending tune. Graphically fantastic. Wish I hadn't bought it on disc. I'd rather have loaded it via tape and maybe get something to get on the Kung Fu Flash. It just takes too long to load, as you know, I gave it in real time. But yeah, what a fantastic game. 2 great games there for the Commodore, and both of them I've thoroughly enjoyed. I definitely love the animation, the graphics are superb, the sound is superb, everything about that game just makes me intrigued to want to play it more. And I will be playing that more off camera. I'm going to see if I can do any better. I may even do a live stream of me doing a walkthrough on it, should I get good enough to complete it, which I highly doubt because my gaming skills are, well, in this day and age, sadly lacking. Anyway, with that said, it's time to end the show. Well, that's going to be a long show. A lot of crash smashes, a lot of new stuff. The announcement of the KS2 3? I'm running out of breath. Listen everybody, thank you for joining me, thank you for supporting me and my channel, and thank you for attending the events and always come up and saying hi to me. It's great to meet you in actual person. You can see I'm full of energy and full of life in real life, and I'm very enthusiastic about your memories and the things that you find nostalgic. Me, it's all about the Spectrum, but Commodore and all of the machines are represented as well. After all, it's called Retro Robbins. That's not just Spectrum Robbins, even though Spectrum is my first and true love. I will venture and rate other systems. This game marks out of 10, 9 out of 10, absolutely, I love it. Hopefully I'll get you some dates now and all the links inappropriate for Zap Live, but for me, and of course my emo over there who's just run out of battery, thankfully, because it was getting on my nerves. Depending on when you watch this, hope you enjoyed the show. Remember to give it a like, leave a comment, always, that helps with the algorithm and helps me great. We'll try and get this channel to grow so I can bring you more energy. You have a nice working week or weekend, and I'll see you again soon. So if you love a bit of 8-bit, hopefully you've loved a bit of this show. By the way, this is Indiana Jones theme tune from the AY version of Honey Run Monty. It's a Monty Mole game, it's pretty good. Just waiting for the tune to end. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Bye.
In our hearts, from Sinclair to Commodore, where do we start? 8-bit computing in the modern age, where vintage computers take center stage. It's the Retro Robbins Show, Retro Robbins Show. Plug in a joystick and let the good vibes grow. The Retro Robbins Show, go live, subscribe, stay in the know. We've got reviews and gaming vibes, we do upgrades and repairs, all of it live. So come to the channel and just drop in. Take off your hat, let the show begin. Let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. It's the Retro Robbins Show, Retro Robbins Show. Plug in your computer, let the good vibes grow. The Retro Robbins Show, go live, subscribe, stay in the know. Oh yeah, take it